They say we live in a world ruled by machines, guided by artificial intelligence, and driven by algorithms. But in the quiet corners of the universe, in places where light has yet to touch, the mind still reigns supreme. The human mind, the original quantum processor. Not built, born, not programmed, breathed into existence, and long before there was code, there was consciousness. People forget that. In the midst of our technological obsessions, people forget the miracle of their own minds. They trade intuitive knowing for search engines. They surrender their voice for trending sounds. They silence their inner compass just to be validated by strangers. But not everyone. There are those who still sit with their thoughts, those who sharpen their mind in silence, those who build not with apps or platforms, but with clarity and inner fire. You can tell who they are, not by what they say, but by how they see. You ever met someone who always finds a flaw in every beautiful truth you share? Someone who waits in silence until you say something profound, only to correct you, dissect you, or outshine you? Their tone ain't hateful, their face wears a smile. But underneath, there's a quiet war, a need to dominate the room without raising their voice, a desire to feel superior without saying it. That energy, that ain't just pride, that's a spiritual insecurity, a mind that can't let another mind shine because it's afraid of being forgotten. I've seen it my whole life, the ones who say, actually, every time someone shares insight, the ones who always have a counterpoint, even if the point was never a threat. They can't just let the light land on someone else. They gotta redirect it. Dull your glow so theirs feels brighter. But here's what I learned. Let them talk. Let them correct. Let them have the last word. Because the real ones, the ones who move worlds, they don't need to win conversations. They win in silence. They win in motion. They win when they stay true to their vision. The most dangerous mind is the one that doesn't need applause. The one that doesn't argue, but builds. The one that doesn't react, but responds from a place of power. See, your mind is a miracle. Not because it memorizes, but because it imagines. Not because it follows, but because it sees what doesn't yet exist. That power, it doesn't come from books or systems. It comes from listening inward. But the world has trained us to doubt that. From the moment we were born, we were handed distractions, noise, approval addiction. We were taught to chase validation instead of vision, to sound smart instead of be wise, to be liked instead of being true. And when you break that mold, when you start thinking differently, moving differently, speaking with clarity instead of confusion, you become a target for subtle attacks, not always loud. Sometimes it comes as sarcasm, sometimes as over-explaining, sometimes as compliments laced with doubt. But don't let it throw you off. That resistance is confirmation. You're not here to shrink for the comfort of others. You're here to reflect the truth, and truth has never been comfortable. Understand, every time you hold your tongue to protect a fragile ego, you rob the room of a seed that was meant to grow. And every time you dim your vision so someone else can feel big, you betray the very power you were born to express. So be still. But don't be silent. Speak with intention. Move with clarity. Let them question you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them call you arrogant for trusting yourself. But never let them colonize your mind, because that's what it is. A mental colonization. When someone tries to occupy the space of your knowing. When they can't create something pure, so they criticize what you've built. That's not intelligence, that's fear. And here's the truth. The mind that must always be right is often the mind that is most afraid of being seen. But the mind that seeks truth, it doesn't fear being wrong. It doesn't compete. It doesn't correct to impress. It listens. It learns. And then it speaks from experience, not ego. You see, there's a difference between knowing and needing to be known for knowing. The first is wisdom. The second is insecurity in disguise. So keep your power close. Don't waste your brilliance on debates with those who don't seek clarity, only control. There will always be voices trying to edit your essence, but your soul knows what it came here to express. They'll call you sensitive, good. They'll call you intense, beautiful. They'll call you too deep, perfect. Because what they're really saying is, you remind me of a part of myself I haven't yet embraced. That's not your burden. That's their invitation. So when they try to distract you from your knowing, return to your silence, return to your breath, return to the God within you. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to convince to be credible. Your mind, focused and free, is louder than any noise they bring. They may try to copy your rhythm, but they can't touch your frequency. Because your thoughts are divine, your intuition is a gift, and your clarity is a calling. So don't argue, just build. Don't explain, just execute. And remember, it's not your job to prove your power. It's your job to walk in it. Because when you know who you are and whose you are, no correction, no shade, no intellectual game can shake your foundation. Your mind is all you need, if you train it, if you trust it, and if you protect it from the subtle thieves who smile while they sabotage. So walk boldly, think freely, and rise silently. While they talk, you transform. While they compete, you create. While they cling to being right, you become real. And in the end, it won't be their opinions that echo through time. It'll be your impact, your motion, your truth.